Welcome to Living History. This is the unique show that explores the memories and experiences of the people who put this great nation on their backs when it needed it the most and carried it through some tough and special times, where we really explore the history of this country and the truth is stranger than fiction realities of how we got to be where we are. Welcome to another edition of Living History. I really want to thank you for joining us again. The stories that we bring you are the stuff of legend, and it really speaks to how this country became what it is. The first story you're going to hear today is from a gentleman who was the youngest person to enlist in the Army since the Civil War. He got in at 13 years of age. Imagine that. We are so fortunate to have him share his story with us, and I want you to enjoy it right now. Here you go.
I was 9 years old when World War II ended in 1945, and so therefore I lived World War II playing war games, soldier, etc. in the hills of Los Angeles where I lived between Griffith Park and Elysian Park. I felt that we missed our contribution to World War II at that time. I felt that somehow I should have done something for my nation, and at 9 years old, of course, I couldn't. So at 13 years old, I heard that they were recruiting here and there throughout Los Angeles, looking for young people to join the military. So I had somebody signed their name to my enlistment papers, and I turned them in and they accepted me. And within 2 weeks or so, I was in the military. I was already, at 13 years old, I was already 6'2", 195 pounds. And I played the role as a soldier as best as I could. I was an infantryman, as I said, and went along with everything we had to do or get done. However, emotionally, I was still a kid. Every so often, I would go in a corner somewhere and bawl. The reason for it is doing something wrong. I was ashamed that I failed and do something right, and couldn't take the criticism from my sergeants, and so therefore I didn't cry in front of anybody except myself. So emotionally, no, I wasn't all there. Physically, yes. Most men who were drafted at that time, anywhere from 18 to 22 years old was the draft at that time for the Korean War. And they could tell I was nowhere 17 years old. But they enjoyed seeing a kid trying his best to be a soldier. So they helped me out. I can't say that anyone ever turned me in. However, I was caught a couple of weeks from 15, and that's because my mother sent a letter to the commanding general, and within 3 hours I was out of the Army. She heard that we were shipping out. This was in January of '51. She read in the paper, the LA Times posted that this unit was shipping out, etc. She immediately wrote this letter, and I was out of the Army in 3 hours. I didn't go home. I received my mustering out pay, and instead of going back to Los Angeles from Camp Cook, California, which is now Vandenberg, I went to San Jose where I had aunts and uncles and stayed with them like for 3 weeks until I was convinced to go back home. I felt I didn't do my part. I was still growing up, maturing, and the resension was there. However, they probably saved my life. I realize that now. I was working for a while after I turned 14 and 15 years old. I went back to school into high school. I had missed the 8th, the 9th, and half of the 10th grade by being in the Army. I went back to John Marshall High School in Los Angeles at the top of the 10th grade. I finished the 10th grade, I finished the 11th grade, and was going into the 12th when the school system discovered I had missed the other grades. So they announced to me that I would be put back to the bottom of the 10th grade. And with that comment, I said, go to hell. I joined the Army. This was in January of 1953. February the 3rd, I was going to be 17, so I joined legally. The second time was very good for me. I was already a veteran. I was a veteran in high school. And I had veterans' rights. I got my bonuses, etc. And I was well looked up to in high school. And when I went into the military, I only took an 8-week refresher course and was shipped out to Korea. In the Korean War, I served with the 17th Infantry Regiment of the 7th Infantry Division on a hill called Pork Chop. It doesn't get the write-ups that a lot of things get in today's wars. It was slaughter on both sides. At 17 years old, I was scared to death. I fired my weapon when I had to, and I killed men when I had to. And I can guarantee you, I did my share of grenade throwing and firing my rifle.
Like most people, you probably bought an annuity, life insurance, or other financial product to provide for your future. Unfortunately, these products are often improperly explained and carry hidden fees and risks that can erase the benefits you thought you were getting. In short, you may not have at all what you were promised. My name is Stephen Roth, and I'm the founder of WMI, a unique company dedicated to protecting the public from negligence and fraud. Our 360 review tells you exactly what you really have, and unlike other companies, we're only paid if we improve your position. Insurance and investment companies rarely do the right thing voluntarily, and most agents are concerned only with their commissions. Clients who are sold the wrong products have recovered millions of dollars with our help, and we can also help maximize what you and your heirs receive from insurance, investments, and more, guaranteed. Call us today at 1-877-OPTIVIZE. That's 1-877-678-4847.
I found the men that were in the Vietnam War were more violent. The personnel. The Korean War, the troops that were in that were normal Joe Blows with fear and courage. In Vietnam, we had too many young men who had too much time on their hands and were using drugs. In my organization, the 101st Airborne Division, we did not tolerate anything like drugs, let alone bandanas, earrings, or anything else they wanted to wear. We were there to make it through 1 year and survive. In my position, I was a platoon sergeant, sergeant first class, and I made sure that nothing like this happened to my 40 men that I had. A leader, which I was in the Vietnam War, doesn't get much sleep. When there's a downtime, there's planning, there's meetings to attend, there's organizing, there's counseling, on and on it goes. So my biggest thing was sleep. We're deprived of sleep as it is in combat. You make sure your men get a couple of hours of sleep if at all possible, but the leader really does not get that much sleep other than nap 15, 20 minutes at a time here and there. He's running around, checking positions, checking munitions, checking supplies, all this sort of thing. There is no mess hall on the front lines. You eat rations. In the Korean War, it was out of cans, and you had a little heat pill to heat them up, if at all possible, if the situation allowed. In Vietnam, you had the same rations, cans, and better heat pill this time, and you heated them up when you can, but usually you needed water in some of them. So things, as far as hot meals, the military tried in Vietnam to get you a hot meal once a day. And what happened was the helicopter wasn't available. You were in a hot area, firing, killing, attacking, what have you, and they couldn't bring it to you. So we depended primarily on the rations. But yes, we did appreciate that hot meal. All on one plate, all mixed up together. They had to force me out the front gate. I was 52 years old and I was still ready to stay in. I reached the longest period of time I could stay in, 35 years. 27 of those years were active. And I really was heartbroken that I was leaving everything I've known for my life.
This concludes another episode of Living History. I really want to thank you for taking the time to join us. The stories that we're getting are powerful and meaningful and really tell the difference in the philosophy of the America that we used to live in and the America we live in today. Thank you again for joining us, and I hope to see you on future episodes. Take care.
Like most people, you probably bought an annuity, life insurance, or other financial product to provide for your future. Unfortunately, these products are often improperly explained and carry hidden fees and risks that can erase the benefits you thought you were getting. In short, you may not have at all what you were promised. My name is Stephen Roth, and I'm the founder of WMI, a unique company dedicated to protecting the public from negligence and fraud. Our 360 review tells you exactly what you really have. And unlike other companies, we're only paid if we improve your position. Insurance and investment companies rarely do the right thing voluntarily, and most agents are concerned only with their commissions. Clients who are sold the wrong products have recovered millions of dollars with our help. And we can also help maximize what you and your heirs receive from insurance, investments, and more, guaranteed. Call us today at 1-877-OPTIVIZE. That's 1-877-678-4845.